Hello and welcome into your readings, Aquarius Risings. This is an intuitive reading where I, who am Lauren, the Oracle of the Rose, who is one of many oracles of the Rose, I work with my guides, the Marys, on behalf of the Sisterhood of the Rose, and have called in through meditation, through my connections, I've called in guidance for anyone who does identify with the Sisterhood of the Rose to have a little bit more insight based on their rising sign about what might be going on energetically. It seems like we're all in this very big process that has opened up, really shifting a lot of us since eclipse season, since April. And so this intuitive reading is really tuning into what process is underway through all these energetic transits that we've been going through since eclipse season, since the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, all of the personal planets making such powerful contact with Pluto, with some of the outer planets, Jupiter and Uranus, and also the resetting of both Venus and now Mercury, which is happening now as I am recording this video on June 11th. So, Aquarius Risings, here we go. Thank you for tuning in, and I will let you know this reading is a little bit longer because the Marys were very chatty about what is going on for all of us. So we start off with the Ten of Swords, and this points into Sun and Gemini. So it's pointing into the Gemini season we're currently finding ourselves in, and talking about how you Aquarius Risings might have just really been going through a deep period of shadow. And I feel that this is true for a lot of us. A lot of us are emerging and experiencing these realignments that are fleshing out some of the deepest of the deep of the shadows. And the Ten of Swords speaks to a time of exhaustion, of fatigue, a time of pain after experiencing some destruction in our life. Someone potentially recently feeling like they have betrayed you. You may have endured a bereavement or lost something that was of a lot of value to you, in relationship to potentially your sense of identity or your home or a very close partnership or job. And so it indicates that you're going through a time where your energy, your precious energy and resources have been really drained. And this has played a role, especially feeling so drained has played a role in hindering your own spiritual growth. And so this card is speaking to a time where it's time now to really start paying attention to how you feel when you're interacting with others or certain situations, to tune into your energetic responses from a somatic level, and notice if your energy is being uplifted or is sinking when you're in the presence or given an opportunity with someone else. So card number 2, these first 4 cards, by the way, are coming to us from the Ethereal Alchemist Tarot deck. And what the process is for me often is I will, in meditation, I will have my decks out. And then I will use my pendulum here. I'm just kind of showing it on camera. And as I'm in connection with the Marys, through the use of the pendulum, I will have them show me which decks they wish to speak through. And so they have chosen the decks here in this manner. And we're starting with the Ethereal Alchemist. And these are the first 4 kind of main themes that are coming forward. And then you're going to receive 4 clarifying cards. And we're going to unpack that with some spiritual growth cards that are really kind of tuning into this deeper soul process that's underway, as well as a guidance card. So your second card here that's coming forward is the 5 of Pentacles, pointing to Mercury in Taurus and pointing to a quality of light energy. And it's talking about feeling a restriction or a sense of lack relating to financial stability and resources. It does you know, the fives a lot of time represent adversity or loss or challenge or struggle. And this card can sometimes point to a feeling potentially that you might be moving through rewriting any narratives that you've carried within you about scarcity and a sense of lack or scarcity consciousness. And so it seems as if you are in this path of bumping up against feelings of restriction, feelings of limitation, and recognizing where we have self-imposed those through our own thoughts, or even potentially through adherence to some unconscious patterns that we're carrying, maybe some victim consciousness, or ways that we don't accept our own sovereignty or energetic accountability of change, but rather sometimes we can find ourselves in a position where it's easier to blame where we find ourselves on something outside rather than begin to shift the energy on our own. So sounds like you are encountering some lessons potentially, if this is resonating with you, where you are learning how to shift your own frequency, shift your own ways of thinking, to shift you from a space that feels restricted or limited, and whatever scope that this might be really speaking to you in your life. Again, it usually specifically points to a scarcity or a lack type of mentality, but it looks as if you are in this path of learning to embrace this. And this is kind of, you're embracing your ability to shift it by becoming consciously aware is what I'm feeling here. So the next card that came forward was an upside down Three of Wands, which in its shadow, this is the Sun in Aries. So this would maybe refer you back to eclipse season, potentially, with that Aries solar eclipse. But potentially something in that time period might have shifted you into a space that creates this feeling of encountering difficulty or setback or delay. And this card in a shadowed position is a reminder that this is only temporary and that you will be moving through this challenging time soon. And so if you are finding yourself in that space of really feeling kind of this sense of betrayal and destruction, and if that has carried forward into some type of scarcity mentality, this is a reminder card to keep the hope that you are soon going to be moving through this challenging time. And it's a reminder or encouragement really to continue to strive for the greatness, to hold the vision in your heart of whatever it is that you do wish to seek. And whatever level this is sort of resonating, you know, that will be personal for you. But whatever area in life this is really coming through for you, for this is a time where you're being asked by the universe, how much do you want it? How much can you hold this vision and work toward it and know that it's on its way to you? So the last of our first four, it's a pretty cool looking card, upside down Knight of Swords. And this sort of just kind of emphasizes what we're just saying. You might even be feeling a strong sense of urgency and impatience about the need for things to shift. You might be feeling full of energy, ideas, motivation. But what the universe is actually asking for you to do is slow down a bit. It's saying that, you know, you've come from this space. You've come from this space that's been very difficult, desolate, heartbreaking potentially. And you need to recover your nervous system. You know, this is a card that talks about risking burnout, and that everything is coming in divine timing. It's all unfolding in divine time. And that these great shifts do take time. They take some patience sometimes to unfold for us. And part of our work is learning how we can work with that energy, in between when we're in a process of change or transformation or growth. Sometimes that in between stage can be very uncomfortable in those moments, but it is a time that's very important for us to slow down and tune into what that is. So this is the first of your 4 clarifying cards, and this is coming to us from the Akashic Tarot deck. And the first card here is the upside down King of Forces. And so we'll have a little bit to see what this has to say. It's talking again more about the depletion of your own personal energy, perhaps feeling some inertia or some scattered energy. This could also indicate that there has, maybe you've been moving through a period of separation or divorce in a relationship. Career-wise, there could have been a loss of a position. And so this card could also indicate a person, typically more with a masculine presence, but doesn't necessarily mean a man only. It could just be more masculine energy. But someone with disruptive energy, out of balance in their own life, which could have an impact on you as well. There could be some obvious signs here, such as like anger or hostility or depression. And it could also be that the vibrations might be subtle and hard to notice at first. And it could be indicating someone who is pretty self-absorbed or selfish. And so this card is really, it indicates to take your time to really assess. So whatever area, whether this is applying to a love interest or if it's a business partner or a business interest of some type, what this card is here to do is to remind you and to get you to tune into your own somatic listening again. It's asking you to notice, what is the effect on your energy? Are you feeling scattered? Are you feeling depleted? Do you feel a sense of inertia? To really tune in and assess the vibration that is coming from, whether it's the person or the situation, right? And take time for yourself right now to really tune in if this is right for you. Is this in alignment? Is this supporting you? Is this healthy for you? So tuning into whatever this King of Forces energy is in your life. And I think you might know what it is, because this next card here is the Lookout. And here's what the Lookout looks like right side up. It's a person, if you can zoom in, there's a person standing on the mast of a ship, and that person is safe. They've got something, they're looking like a telescope, but what they're surveying is the fact that they're on the ship that is burning down. It's on fire. It's going down, right? So the person is safe, but the situation is not. And so in the reversed position, it could be a person who was observing something taking place, somehow losing their position. So again, tune into whether this is to do with relationship or career here. Something very important that I think truly relates back to our initial card here, this feeling of destruction. But you might really find yourself in the throes of a sudden or difficult loss, or maybe you're just emerging from that. Could be a job, could be a relationship again, or a major creative opportunity. And it's been a very painful and challenging one. However, this card is here to say this is truly a gift in disguise. That the loss of this has actually taken you out of conflict. And it's setting you free energetically from a soul karmic perspective is what I'm hearing. You're being set free for an even higher opportunity. This is giving you the freedom to no longer have to feel defensive about something. And so this card is actually a really beautiful card, saying that you are on your way to something that's larger than life. So we're going to look to this next card because it also, let me just take a closer look. Where is it? Yep. Okay, so his telescope is pointing to this next card for further information. And this is the upside down. All of these came out pretty upside down. The One of Forces, it's called the Akashic Field. And the Akashic Field card in reverse indicates a time of, it's again speaking to this idea of fragmented or agitated energy. And this could be within you or around you. You could have been going through a crisis, or you might be on the receiving end of some type of grief, some type of hostility, maybe even an abusive situation. And it's really thrown you for a loop. It's thrown your nervous system for a loop. You haven't known which direction to go, even potentially. And so what this card is saying is that any feelings of worry and panic, when that might occur, what that is doing is splitting your energy, and it's causing a bit of a frantic vibration to occur within the field that you carry. And what you need to know is that universal consciousness, the consciousness of creation, it's always available to you. It's also always in response to the vibration that we're carrying. And so this card is an invitation again to get still, to learn how to tune into your own inner calm, to find how you can soothe your own nervous system and return into a peaceful and coherent vibratory frequency that you carry with you, that is truly what you want the universe to actually respond to, instead of any feelings of worry or chaos or panic. Because what you're ultimately doing, what we're each ultimately doing, is broadcasting out our own personal frequency. And so if we are broadcasting out panic, what we're going to receive back is more situations that create that sense of needing to feel panicked. However, if we are able to work with our frequency when we feel panic and we feel worry, and bring ourselves back into that coherent heart frequency, even if in that moment it's just of a frequency of neutrality, of harmony, even if we're not able to fully find our way all the way back into love or joy in a particular moment, we can still find a way to work and clear our field. And that's what this is speaking to, because it's that vibration that the universe is then bringing you. All sorts of energy is flowing to you that is a match for the vibration you hold. And so it's also a reminder too that because we have that ability, we can always tune and tap into this Akashic field. So even though our energy might be fragmented in the moment to moment, we can return into that field and into that connection. We can actually call and magnetize to us what it is we do seek, what it is we are trying to call in for ourselves. So the last of the clarifying cards is the light of the world. And this card, if it's upright, it's about an old sage who's holding a lantern and knocking on a door. And basically, upright, it's about the divine wanting to get your attention. But in reverse, it's more about something disruptive in your life, maybe having thrown you already off of balance, which is what I'm really picking up on for most of you. Again, tune into however this is landing. But it's talking about you have been going through this period of time that has created so much disruption that all you've been able to do really is focus on getting through the day. And this card is a reminder to not only remember to focus on the little details of life, but to prioritize your spiritual health and to prioritize your connection with your higher self and your higher aspect of self. And that this is actually the time when your team is guiding you the strongest, when your angels are surrounding you, when you're moving through difficulty, is when you have connection and guidance right there available to you at any moment. And it's really just a matter of welcoming that in and beginning to tune in to those frequencies. So look at the beauty of this card, Aquarius Rising. This is your first of the 3 soul guidance cards that talks about the bigger process that's been unfolding from a higher level. And so if you tune into how this lineage of light is showing up in your life in relationship to the Sisterhood of the Rose, the first card we pulled is literally Lineage of the Rose. I mean, hello. And the interesting thing is, some of these cards continue to come up. Okay, I felt like I was going to sneeze there. Let me just take a quick drink. Apologize, Aquarius Risings. One moment. It's a lot of talking in these readings. Okay, so this card is about being moved by your inner goddess essence, how something becomes stirred inside of us, and how we're here for this, that this is a soul call. It's a time to gather. And so this card reminds you that from a soul level, you chose to be here right now for this, and that you are indeed a part of a collective team that is led by the mother of us all, of the goddess aspect, the divine mother, whatever resonates the most. But we are here to reweave the thread of the rose back into the tapestry of humanity, to make spaces where all people feel cherished and feel safe, to heal and be healed from the destructive patterns of the patriarchy. We are here to usher in a returning of the goddess energy to the earth. And this card is saying here to you that if you, my dear friends, if you have been doubting your path, you are being called to look within and to trust the whispers coming from the caverns, from the depths of your heart. That the way of the mystic rose is walked by few. It's known by the heart, not by the mind. Do not try to overthink. Rather, trust the threads that are woven deep within your energy. Okay, I have just got to say, I have goosebumps. I have spirit bumps from this, because the Marys often, when they first began to talk to me, they said that those of us who identify with this energy, the Sisterhood of the Rose, what we are doing is we're in this process of remembering this lineage of light that has no written energetic record, but it's woven within the threads of our DNA. And they showed me a red and gold thread of light that is interwoven through the strands of our DNA. So this card is just screaming to me that you are being called forward, basically to acknowledge, support yourself. Right now is a time to support yourself and others in the journey back home. And we're all really tuning into this within the Sisterhood of the Rose. The Marys have asked me to help create a sense of community, if that's even possible here for us, to link arms, because we are kind of remembering this a bit in the dark as we go. So the second major card of what's unfolding from you from a deeper level is pointing to the sun, pointing to inviting in more joy, inviting in more fun, more life force energy. This is a card of success on its way to you, a card of vitality, and a card of play. And it's talking about summer right now, when the sun is reaching the highest point in the sky, which is almost here, right? We're almost to summer solstice, when it's going to reach that vertex in the sky where it will be the lightest of the light. So we're almost there. As I'm recording this video for you all, we're reaching that apex point right now. And this is about the point when the sun is at its highest. It's the same point that the rose is at its fullest. Her fragrance is sweet and The fruit is still here to come. The sun represents life force, energy, vitality, confidence, success, positivity, delight, and sheer joy in life. And it's left after the fertile darkness of the soil that the future of the rose begins to reach towards the light of the sun, which then plays a part in nourishing the rose as it reaches for its potential bloom. One of life's greatest blessings is to feel the warmth of the sun on our face and to drink in the gold nectar of what life has for us, to take in the moment and bask in being alive. This is an invitation for you to tune back in to a relishing of your own personal aliveness, a rekindling of what brings joy to you in the moment, to encourage you and invite you to explore what brings the simple pleasures in life to you. This is an encouragement to take time out to play, to be grateful for the body that you have to move in, to acknowledge the wondrous life force energy that's woven, and to remember that we all come with these soul dreams, these soul gifts that we are ready to share. And this is a time that you are nourishing that aspect of you. The time is now. And your last card, which this one has come up in multiple readings, I just have to say, it's called the Crowning. And it's about an initiation. It's about a birth or a rebirth and crossing a threshold energetically. It's about a time when you know you're in a process of change, and there's a time that the flower knows it can no longer remain in the protective constraints of the bud, that it needs to trust in the birthing process and surrender into the unknown of the blooming. And it's this same birthing energy that exists within us. And this is really talking to you, Aquarius Risings, about this blooming, this new phase that is opening within you following this phase of feelings of deconstruction. So what is it that is being initiated in your life? What is calling you closer to your soul's path and your destiny? And this is your guidance card. And it is number 28. So just noticing that. Speaks to the stone emerald. Speaks to the planet Mercury. And the guidance on this is cognizance. And so this is about understanding. It's about holding pragmatism. It's about communication. This could be pointing us to the Mercury-Saturn square based on some of the wording, the word choices being used, which is basically just now happening. It's happening from yesterday through today as Mercury is going through its Cazimi moment. It is having a square to Saturn. And that square is sort of bringing up this idea of being able to look at the entirety, being able to zoom out with perspective and see both your life here within your lifetime, but also understanding it, the scope within this, your soul's journey and the spiritual journey that's underway. And so this card is also talking a lot about being influenced by equal parts nature versus nurture, how you were raised, what you were taught, what you've subconsciously learned, and balancing that with the responsibilities energetically to do the work that we each might need to do to unpack in order to show up the way we actually really do want to show up for others, instead of potentially having maybe our communication style or our relationship attachment style be really colored by subconscious experience. We're in the process of bringing that into our consciousness by bringing it into its highest state of expression. And so how can you more consciously bring your personal expression into your frequency, into your energy, into your interactions? I would definitely lean into, if you are an astrological person, the transits of Mercury and the process of Mercury, because Mercury is resetting right now during the Kazemi moment that is taking place as I basically record this. Mercury is going through the heart of the sun and is going to be reborn again. And it's often, it's the fastest moving. It's the messenger planet relating to our mind, relating to our mental processes. And I think it really represents how can you integrate your intuitive knowing within the pragmatism of your rational mind. And also, how can we alchemize maybe some of those unconscious aspects with a greater awareness, a greater sense of consciousness and love. And then also really hearing some hits for some of you that some of you are going to have new psychic senses, new psychic abilities coming online. And this could be about working with those abilities that are showing up for you. So, there you go, Aquarius Risings. I hope you found this supportive. I hope this will be some guidance. Look to the stone emerald for some energetic support. Look to the planet Mercury. Look for any angel numbers, 28, 2, and 8. And I hope that this reading was able to resonate with you. And I would love for you to like this video, share it, comment to me. Let me know what's going on in your world, or if any of these messages resonate with you. I'm sending you so much love. We're all in this together, trying to walk each other home, trying to figure this out as we are being called forward to shine our light more brightly. I appreciate you so much for showing up, and I hope to see you again soon. Take good care.